baby. Raising hell today, okay? Bring the juice today, brother. Let's get it. Come on. You're going to be standing right next to me, man? Let's go. That's what we do now. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's do our thing now. Take off, kid. Take off, kid. Run. Far side of the 10. Step on to the 5. Head to the end zone. What a play.
What's up, Internet? Welcome to us failing.
Derrick Henry was on my team, so I'm going to go Texans, I guess.
Yeah, he's on Tennessee, though.
Oh.
You try. You went for it. I appreciate it. This is Up the Gut, live.
100%. Hello, welcome to another episode of Up the Gut. I'm your host, Matthew F. Ehlers, and with me, as a special day today, is the ogre, Chad, and he's here because I don't know where Patrick is.
Can't find Patrick anywhere.
We lost him. We lost the Don of the Bills Mafia. And if Mafia movies have taught me anything,
if you're out there, please come home.
Yeah, because if Mafia movies have taught me anything, if we lose him, we're going to get our fingers cut off. Come on, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick, come home. Some people miss you.
Come home.
I can't say who because they want to stay anonymous, but some people miss you. Dylan's here.
I'm drinking your stout.
Dylan's here. He
in
apologized
remembrance of you.
He apologized for making you pick the Broncos. It's everybody has about. He still went up on me on the picks though. Now he's up by 5 instead of 4, and that makes me sad. But I don't hold a grudge. I don't even know where we lost him. He was here last week. We were hanging out this weekend watching all the games, and then I was like, "Yeah, Chad's gonna be down here." I don't know.
I have a feeling that he'll be back.
You try to steal my show, I'll steal your entrance.
And my camera's space.
What's up, boys?
What's up?
What's up, Patrick?
Look at this. Dylan's here. The Taste Bud guys are here. Patrick finally showed up, so our fingers are safe.
I'm telling you.
Don't have to get our kneecaps broken or wear cement shoes. I'm happy.
Now I just got to make sure I'm not echoing.
Echo.
You sound just fine.
All right, we're good. All right, well, welcome to Up the Gut.
Yeah,
where location is relevant.
Unfortunately, we're separated for this episode, but it's okay. You'll be back soon, right?
Yeah, soon. Until I have to leave again. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, it happens. But we're all here. It is Wednesday. We are beautiful people.
Yeah. What's up, Dylan? You ruined me, and it's all your fault.
Taste Bud guy said we are not beautiful people.
I don't blame them. I agree with them.
It's okay though. But now that we're all here, we can get this show kicked off. We're gonna kick it off.
But can we talk about how Dylan ruined me, or I could have been like 7-up if he hadn't told me to pick the Broncos? Can we talk about this? I put all my faith in him. And what does he give me whenever the Broncos can't seal a deal? Sorry. It's not enough.
He said Drew Lock ruined you.
No, you did. Because you didn't say Teddy Bridgewater would win. You said Gordon and Williams would win. That's what you said.
That is true.
The quarterback is irrelevant here, Dylan. But it's okay. I had cushion.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. All right. Now we're working all of this remotely. So what are we starting with?
The same thing we always start with. It's time for us for some not so breaking season news.
That's the season.
This is Up the Gut Not So Breaking News. News you may have already heard.
It's a good thing that Chad's here to kick off the news with us, because if anybody knows about a team going into the COVID protocols, it's a good buddy here.
How long until Mahomes is in there? Kelsey, Tyreek,
Hill,
Bucker. Everybody's there. It's like
a couple
other
people we don't know.
My God,
let them play. Let them play.
You guys ruined me.
Let them play.
Well, that's the point. That's why I titled this. I gave us a little clickbait title. NFL COVID response, genius or playing politics, because they're trying to change it now to where if you're vaccinated, they don't even test you. In that case, half the Chiefs would be playing right now with COVID infecting everybody else. Where does this make sense at all?
Is it they're not going to test you, or just test you less often?
This is a fact.
The one I had heard was they weren't going to test them if they were. And then it was switched to maybe less often. But now who knows what they're going to do because everybody's out. I even saw a college, one of the bowl games, the Gator Bowl or something, the Ags, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
They don't have enough players to play at all, so they're going to have to cancel it.
Oh. Those poor seniors and juniors who are leaving.
Yeah.
That's
Poor
a lot.
It's the NFL for you, man.
Yeah. But it's not just you guys. A couple head coaches in COVID. Robert Saleh, Nick Sirianni. Now to look that down because that's the first I've ever said his name this whole year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't forget Buffalo's having quite a run too. Feliciano's still dealing with it, but he's got them monoclonal antibodies, so he's doing good. Bees is out.
Yep.
So
hopefully coming into this last 3 weeks here, if Kelsey and Tyreek did have a positive test and whatnot, and if they do have it, but if it's this Omicron where they're saying hardly anybody's having,
Omicron Persei 8.
Omicron. They're saying that most of anybody that's getting it isn't really having a tough time with it. So maybe if they get those antibodies, then maybe the end of the season here, the best players in the NFL won't be sitting on the bench.
Maybe if they were all immunized. Like Aaron Rodgers was.
Yeah. Or maybe if it was actually a vaccine that worked, make a good vaccine. Don't just change the definition.
I just don't know if you can have a vaccine for this.
Well, I mean, possibly, but it might take a long time to figure out.
Yeah, we had polio for a while before we had the vaccine for it. Granted, that was like the full 40s. Technology, it wasn't what it is today.
Anyway, we're not going to get on the political part of it. Unfortunately, There are lots of players out.
Yep. Let's see. Other than COVID, Taylor Lewan out against the 49ers.
That poor guy. He's like always out.
Mike Evans and Antoine Winfield both have not practiced. Oh, wait. Austin Eckler's on the COVID list.
Paper straws are stupid.
They are. They're very dumb. Josh Jacobs did not practice due to illness. Quentin Nelson did not practice due to illness. Teddy Bridgewater is definitely not playing again this weekend because he was almost murdered.
Who?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's still not practicing.
Oh, man.
Cam Newton's
that's going to hurt him so bad when your backup's better than your starter.
A lot better. Cam Newton's starting against Tampa Bay for Carolina, so
they really want Tampa Bay to win.
So I don't know who I'm picking. And with the loss the other night, the Seahawks have clinched their first losing season since Russell Wilson arrived.
Yeah.
Well, 9 years straight of a winning season, I think it was 9 years, man.
They did, but ever since those 2 Super Bowl appearances, they just kind of slowly been going down that chute.
Well,
sorry, I went to Spangles, and they said if I put them on the show, I got a free upgrade to a large.
Are they watching, though? You watching Spangles?
No, that didn't happen at all.
Robert Holler said, whoa, apparently he loves Spangles.
I don't know what he said whoa to, but he did say that. So
maybe he would tune in to hear about all the Chiefs are on COVID.
Oh, and then other not so breaking news. Mac Jones still has a stupid face.
Also, Dylan updated you about why Drew Lock cost you.
That's one play, though. Where was his running backs? They should have been running all over them. Dylan, you don't get off that easy.
Yeah, that's what Dylan told us. Those two were the reason. That was his whole argument.
I could have had a clean sweep over Ehlers this week.
You could have. Because yeah, thanks, New England, for showing up. God, I wish Vern was here so I could yell at him.
Oh, man, I wonder if anybody could have picked that and saw that. Oh, wait.
And thanks, Jacksonville, for doing the opposite of what a team does when they lose a coach.
Well, Robert said he thought that they said the Chiefs had negative tests today.
Maybe, but they have to have 2.
But they have to have dose, And if they did have a negative test today, well, darn it, Robert, that's breaking news. This is not so breaking news.
And they didn't say anything about him as far as an hour ago.
Whew.
Yeah, I was up to date with that. But yeah, the Seahawks with a losing season, I never thought they'd been one of the worst teams in that division.
I think we named it at the beginning of the year. I think we all did. We thought the Seahawks would be, like we've said for a while. If you're playing them, you can't ever say, oh, that's an easy win, because they've always grinded you. And this year they just couldn't quite get the wins, even though they grind.
I didn't think anybody in the NFC West was going to have a losing record. I knew someone had to be in last place, but I didn't think anyone was going to be that bad in that division.
Good point.
I didn't expect it to be that bad, but I did notice that Up the Gut's been doing some extra video uploading.
They have been.
And we found in the vault our top 10 offenses, and I watched it this morning, and it was surprisingly accurate with some of the things we're saying.
Lord.
Hey, Robert has a question. How do you have negative test after positive test?
Because it's not like HIV.
It's probably a false positive.
It's correct. Could be a false positive, or
depending on how they do the test, maybe they had it and it's going away, or maybe the NFL's just stupid.
Maybe
it was Omicron Persei 8.
But yeah, I got through everything on my list. The Panthers are making sure they tank by starting Newton. Drew Lock's in, so I don't know if I'm picking Denver. You guys got any other news I may have missed?
Well, I may pick Denver, but darn it, I'm not going to get Dylan's.
Sorry, Dylan.
2 negatives make a positive. That's why Ehlers and I have a positive show.
Exactly.
And that's news.
This is Up the Gut Not So Breaking News. News you may have already heard.
Now, this isn't really news, but I did see that Urban Meyer did have a press conference and apologize to the Jacksonville organization for his behavior. But if I was Jacksonville, I don't know if I'd be so quick to forgive him.
Never forgive him, especially if he's kicking people.
Yeah, kicking Josh Lambo while he's trying to stretch.
Why would you kick somebody? Well, because he's the effing head coach. He's the flipping head coach. He does what he wants.
That's terrible coaching.
That's just being a terrible person. I don't know. It might be good coaching, but these are adults. These are professional. These are men.
Yeah,
you don't treat men like that. If you do, you kick him until he can't get back up.
It would have been funny if Lambo would have turned around and kicked him.
He could probably kick a little better.
I say, seeing as that's his job, he's probably way better at it than Urban Meyer is.
Oh,
but
Ehlers, you're running this ship today. So where are we going?
Let's see. We could delve a little bit deeper into why Seattle's so terrible all of a sudden.
What
I don't think it's just their offensive line, because I don't think Russell Wilson's the most sacked quarterback this year.
I got a suggestion. They're officially not going to be in the playoffs, correct?
I don't think they're officially eliminated yet, but it doesn't look good for them.
I say we start seeing about who's the first one out, who's the first one in on these wild cards.
We need to wait and see who's actually are the last wild cards.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to try to put our odds on who we think they're going to be. I think we need to take some picks here on who we think is going to be.
Let me look up the bracket real quick.
Oh, man, yeah, I'd really have to look at some standings.
I know we didn't talk about this.
Just flipping the script and saying, you know what? Let's make things hard.
I mean, I'm not sure. Is there anybody here that's a Seattle fan that wants to talk about Seattle or like Jacksonville?
No one wants to talk about Jacksonville. Jacksonville was eliminated weeks ago.
Let me ask you this: do you think Pete Carroll's job's in trouble? I don't. I don't.
They love Pete Carroll.
I think they love Pete Carroll.
I think this is the slide to him being gone, though.
But let's talk about
It will be, but I don't think it's going to be.
I think he'd have to have 3 or 4, at least
one,
2 or 3 more years. That's really bad. Now Nagy, on the other hand,
that's hard to say though too, because the Bears have been bad for so long. They made a couple playoff.
No, I think Nagy's out.
Probably, but who's going to be in?
Oh,
who's going to stay in?
Who's going to stay in what?
As a Bears head coach, I don't think they've kept a coach longer than 3 years and forever.
Well, that's the thing. This was going to happen. Nagy's going to go get fired. He's going to go back to Kansas City and Bieniemy.
The offensive coordinator. Bieniemy's going to go to.
Yeah, they're just going to do a rotation.
Jacksonville,
whoever the offensive coordinator
Chicago.
for Kansas City is can go coach the Bears for 2 years. All right, I'm going to look.
Maybe the Chiefs actually fire Steve Spagnuolo and he'll go coach the Bears.
Oh my gosh, I need to fire him, but he doesn't need to coach anymore.
Look, if he's if he's that bad a coach and the Bears will hire him, I'm not against it.
Okay. I don't. Wow.
Here's what I do think in the NFC.
So let's start with the AFC.
Okay, the AFC. Never mind.
Let's start with the AFC West. My Chiefs.
I mean, the Chiefs and the Chargers.
So what, you trying to decide who's going to make it?
Well, Chiefs are going to be the number 1 seed at this point.
That's not guaranteed. You guys lose some, we win the rest out. We got a chance still.
Who's that we? You mean the Bills?
Oh, yeah.
You guys need to be playing a little bit better ball at this point to be playing on that.
You guys need a lot of help to get that 1 seed.
I mean, we do. And mostly that's just Kansas City losing at this point because
but if you lose one game, you're really looking at the door out too.
You have to beat New England this weekend.
Yeah.
I think your task is a little bit tougher than our task.
That is the way to do it. You guys don't be so negative. It's just old stupid face.
It's not. It's that running attack.
Reality TV show.
There's nothing to say they won't try that again.
How many people out there like reality TV?
I don't.
I'm talking about it right now. Reality is. Patriots-Bills game this week is huge.
It's the
of
big
course
one.
it is.
If we don't want to play it up like what it really truly is, then we're missing the point here. This is a huge, and the reason being, Patrick is the biggest Bills fan I know.
I got my here's why. And you guys ready for this one?
Here's why what?
You guys didn't even realize I was doing crack research while you guys were mouthing me because I don't care what you say. Bills are going to win the division. We may not be the number 1 seed. We're going to beat the Patriots. We're going to beat the Jets. We're going to beat the Falcons. Settled.
I definitely see
3
those
wins.
last two.
That gets us 11 and 6. We win the division. Patriots won't be able to beat us because we'll have won out and beat them twice. So here's my hero. Are you guys ready for this one?
Did you say you beat the Patriots twice?
Twice?
No, sorry. We beat them once, but we have a better end schedule. In division schedule.
In division.
In division
record.
Okay. Here it is. You guys ready? This is my big prediction.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins will get in as a wild card and the Patriots don't make the playoffs. And here's why. So with some very sideways research on my phone, it looks like the Patriots have Buffalo, which they will lose. Then they have Jacksonville, which they will win.
Yep.
Then they have Miami, which they will lose.
Really?
Yes.
Are they playing in Miami?
And so then what's going to happen is then you have Miami has New Orleans, which they will win. Tennessee, which they will win. And then the Patriots, which they will win.
As weird as this to say, that New Orleans game against Miami is pretty iffy because if that offense can beat up and shut out Tampa Bay the way they did, there's nothing to say they can't do that to Miami.
Yeah, but that's one for some odd reason. New Orleans has had Tom Brady's number there in Tampa. And I'm not saying it's guaranteed. This is just, this is a pretty big claim to try to make here. Because Patriots were the darlings there just a little bit ago, number 1 in the AFC East. But the Dolphins are only 2 games behind them. So if they tie up, it just depends on their in-division record. But I think since Miami will have beat them twice, that they may have a better. But I don't know because we beat Miami twice. So
where are
really look at that?
Where are the Patriots playing?
Hmm?
Where are the Patriots playing? They're playing at home against you guys, right?
Yes.
So they're at Foxborough.
Are they in Miami?
Where are they at on the other ones? Jacksonville.
Jacksonville one doesn't matter.
Yeah, that one doesn't matter.
I think your Bills
And then
will beat them this weekend, but I don't think
Miami will play New England last game at home.
They do struggle in Miami.
I just don't see a Bill Belichick team losing two of their last three two divisional opponents.
Dude,
I don't see it.
The team sucked last year.
1 year in the last 2 decades.
Huh?
1 year in the last 2 decades.
Yeah. So
And look
now
what
it's
they
gonna be,
look.
Now it's going to be 2 years.
Everybody counted
It's going
them.
to be 2 for 2. 2 and 2
Everybody
years.
counted them out this year, and guess what? Where they at?
They're right up there. They're in the mix. But so's Miami. So's Buffalo. It's not like they ran away with shit.
No, I'm not saying they're nowhere what they used to be, but I'm saying for a team that is not that impressive on paper, has been very impressive
on paper.
on the
They
field.
got great running and they got a great defense. The only thing that's
Their
lacking
running
is their
game,
quarterback
you
and
pick
receiver.
one running back and pick them on your fantasy team any given year, and it's never there.
No, it's because they use so many. You go to the team that uses one back, the exclusion to that's Cleveland, because both of those running backs usually get numbers, but New England's always been a running back by committee. So why would you go and pick fantasy from someone who's going to get a third of the carries?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They don't have one stud. They have two that or three that get points.
I know you're not a
yards.
Mac Jones fan, but he's done everything for the most part what he's needed to do to make sure that team wins. And Bill Belichick's in charge of
Which
that.
is nothing. Literally, the best way for them to win is for Mac Jones to do nothing.
But again,
that's exactly how they beat us. He did nothing. 3 passes, Chad, and he only completed.
I know.
2.
I know. And that's why, honestly, that's what scares me about how dangerous they are. They could beat you guys at home with him throwing the ball 3 times.
Yeah, because on
that's
paper,
scary. That's scary good.
Is their running game and their defense.
Now,
let Josh Allen not have to throw in
it's
60-mile-an-hour winds and imagine how dangerous we'll be.
I would have to say Buffalo's coaching would deserve a huge kick in the ass for that game.
I would say their offensive line deserved a big kick in the ass for that game.
I mean,
yeah, no, Josh, but we've been dealing with a lot and we're making through. Injuries happen, weather
listen,
happens.
I'm picking you guys to win this weekend, but I'm not picking the Patriots to lose 2 of their last 3 the divisional opponents. But
are you getting any
that's my big claim. Like you want some shocking? That's my shock. Miami gets a wild card over the Patriots. What do you guys got? Bring something to this fucking game. Bring something here.
Well, bold predictions.
Yeah, you wanted to talk wild cards. I brought a wild card in.
Okay, that's a huge wild card.
Yeah,
Bengals win the AFC North. The AFC North.
Actually, that everybody has a chance at winning that right now.
But the Bengals are in first place now, and they're going to keep it.
I like that.
I can get behind that.
I like it
because they're going to win. I think they're going to win this week against the Ravens.
I do too.
But it's going to be a good one because, again, I don't think Lamar's playing, so that's going to make a better Ravens team.
You just don't know with a John Harbaugh team that's going to show up this late in the season that when they know that it's on the line.
You know, the Ravens might have already had it locked up if they just stopped going for it for 2 at the last second.
Yeah.
Good point.
How many games this year did they win in overtime whenever Lamar comes steaming back, throws for 900 yards out of nowhere, breaks my knee, and then goes into overtime, and they win in overtime? And they've done that successfully multiple times this year. And all of a sudden, John Harbaugh is like, no, we're not going for overtime. We're going to try to throw this little slant pass or screen pass or pass to the flats with quarterbacks that can't throw to the flats, apparently.
But no, I think the Bengals can win out, which is a big thing because after this week against the Ravens, they got to go. They don't have to go. They play the Chiefs at home. But I think the Bengals can win out and keep that lead in the division. I don't know if they'll bump up to number 1, but they will win the North.
Well, I think the Browns, unfortunately, with all the stuff they got going on, they're just kind of out of it.
Yeah, and that's who the Bengals
the Steelers, they've gotten kind of lucky with playing bad teams or beat up teams because they're 7-7-1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're still got a chance. And the Ravens, I think, would be the closest to do it, but they just haven't been hitting on all cylinders because of a lot of injuries. especially that defense and secondary. So I can get behind that. But what do you think, Chad? Do you have one? Do you have a?
I wanted to go through each division and figure out who we think is going to be like the first one.
So you just want to go through each one and say,
I'm not saying bold predictions. Yours was really bold. I like it.
Prediction. But how about this? Just for a quick question.
Okay.
If the Titans make it into the playoffs, and for the first game of the playoffs, Derrick Henry's healthy, does that make the scariest team in the playoffs?
No.
I wouldn't say scariest. It makes them a lot better. I wouldn't say scariest because their pass attack is still.
But that would make their passing attack better because that's why it was
very true.
Very Derrick true. Henry, it's the Lamar factor. Whenever you're so scared of the run that you're almost pulling one defender less than receivers out there. I think they may be the scariest because they were rolling teams when Derrick Henry was there. Like they embarrassing.
Their defense was playing a lot better too, though.
That's
I
true.
don't know why, but it was.
Well, say what you will. We were in a very dark.
There you go, Matt. You got a question.
At the end of the year.
Who's the scariest Ailer? Well, we're all Ailers, so
no. He's there's comma. Who is the scariest team in the playoffs?
Oh,
Ailers. He's asking you specifically.
Of the AFC wild cards?
Just the scariest team in the playoffs.
Any team in the playoffs. Scariest team.
Yeah. Who would be the scariest team in the playoffs? The Jaguars, if they made it? The Falcons? Who'd be the scariest one that could make the playoffs?
Jaguars aren't even the scariest of the eliminated teams.
I think
apparently the scariest team in the playoffs would be the Lions. Luckily, they're eliminated.
I think the Packers have been the most consistent.
We are, but that means when it's time to go up against a big-time offense.
The Packers aren't scary because they'll just get to the NFC Championship team and lose.
And get robbed. Just like last year.
Tampa's not the scariest. The only reason Tampa would be the scariest is the refs.
Much.
Does Cup deserve to be the MVP? Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
See, now, we're on the same page there.
Will he get it? No, because he's not a quarterback.
No.
Unfortunately, that's where the award goes every year from now on.
They're going to give it to Tom Brady because he's run out of time to win them, so he's got to have more accolades.
If Tom Brady has one
after that last performance, he shouldn't even be talked about now.
Listen, they're not going to give him MVP.
If Tom Brady has one more game like last week, Aaron Rodgers will repeat his MVP.
Yep.
All right. So,
honestly, man, if they're going to give it to someone outside of a quarterback, I know Cup has been unreal, but
Cup, Taylor.
What about Travis Kelce, man? Unreal.
Good. But I'd still say Taylor would give it to Kelce.
Yes, Jonathan.
He's had a lot of drops. He's had a lot of, he just hasn't. He's had some fumbles.
He's the best tight end.
He had that one amazing game where it's like his best game ever.
You think he's going to walk away better than Tony Gonzalez?
He already is.
Oh,
get out of here!
Love Tony G.
No,
love Tony G.
They're at this point. They're not judging by everything. They're just judging by the stats for receivings and touchdowns. Kelce will he'll go down in the papers as better than Kelce.
Listen, I love Tony G.
Who doesn't? He is one of the most loved people in the world.
Yeah, but no, offensive player of the year could go to Cooper Kupp or Jonathan Taylor.
Now, I agree with that one.
We could see a co-MVP. That hasn't happened in a while, but it has happened.
Yeah.
So I can see smoking him. I wouldn't say that.
Are you smoking him?
No.
Yeah. Kelsey's doing things that no one's ever done before.
Kelsey's playing in a more pass-happy league.
Tony Gonzalez,
that's why. You're right.
That's all that matters.
And you're playing in a league where quarterbacks aren't allowed to get their faces.
So that doesn't make him better. He'll have better numbers.
It's just like the NBA.
Make him better. I'm not saying he is better, but when it comes down to it, just like the argument I say that Tom Brady isn't the GOAT, I don't think he's the best to ever play the game. I've made arguments for it, but at this point, he's done so much. I can't even argue with it because everybody's just going to go to this or this. The Super Bowl wins. They're not going to go to anything about the teams he was on to that. So with Kelce, they're just going to say, look at all the yards, look at all the touchdowns. He's the best ever. You just have to learn to accept it. That's what the league is now. That's what you get. Plus, he gets an extra game to do it.
It's just like so every league's going to evolve over and over and over and over again. NBA, the big talk is if LeBron played back then, how? Well, of course, if he played back then, he would adjust his game. He'd still be great. But they say, what if Jordan played today, or what if Wilt Chamberlain played today? The game's evolved so much, so it's really hard to put anybody in.
Wilt definitely wouldn't have been as dominant today as he was back then. Because back then,
You say that, but you're taking a Wilt that played against that competition back then. So if Wilt was alive today,
there were only
and you had a 7'4" guy that was that coordinated and slept with like 2,600 women.
Yeah, but he was.
I'm telling you,
he was the only 7-footer back then.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, okay. If he played with other 7-footers now, you don't think that his game would elevate to a new height?
No, because he wouldn't be as dominant as he was over a bunch of 6'8" people.
Oh,
no.
He would be.
Shaq would have murdered him.
Listen, I love Shaq. So that's a bad comparison. I'm saying the people that played then, you put them in today's world, growing up in today's world, and these guys were going to be stars anyway. They were the best of the best back then.
They were.
So if they were alive today, growing up in today's society, competing against today's competition, they're still going to be the best of the best now. But they're going to be even better.
Some of them will. But again, the only reason Wilt got 100-point games is because no one can block a shot. Because the ball's way up here. Nobody can jump that high.
There's no doubt. The points he used to put up is insane.
But now every team has a 7-footer that can guard him. Will his game change?
Actually, you say that, but the league these days is not so much centered around that big center no more. I mean, the days of Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing. Anyways, we're on a football show.
We are, but
yes,
the game evolves.
Everything has evolved. Everything.
And the game has evolved to help the offense instead of the defense in football. Absolutely. It sucks playing defense.
So, I mean, just depends. I mean, you look at some of the defensive teams that we've had over the last decade, though, and they've been impressive as hell. I mean,
until the game goes back to a ground and pound running a defensive style, and when people can start getting hit again, we will never see defenses even come close to the Ravens defenses or the Steel Curtain or the Niners Gold Rush or even the Purple People Eaters. We'll never see that again because we can't. Too many penalties.
Yep.
Patrick, where'd you go? He might actually got a work call.
No. I just don't know a thing about basketball. That's why I have a football podcast.
Not even a little thing?
That's what I said. All we're saying is the game's evolved.
Yeah, no, 100%. But the thing is it doesn't matter how much it evolves and how much it benefits one person over the other. They're always just going to look at the stats when it comes down to it at the end. Tom Brady could have, the best team around him and not throw a single pass for an entire season, win a Super Bowl. In the end, when everybody looks back on it 10 years later, they're just going to see Tom Brady with another Super Bowl. They don't care about anything that goes with it. They don't care how many games he had to play. He doesn't care. Like Peyton Manning has a Super Bowl and he sat out half the year while Brock Osweiler was winning games for him with that defense.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what it is. He won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. So that is all I'm saying. Now, did you ever answer who the scariest team going to the playoffs would be? The people asked you.
I honestly think it'll be the Chargers because they're starting to get a little hot now.
But they got hot and then they cooled off real fast.
Right, and now they're starting to heat up again at the right time. Kind of like the Giants.
At home.
They're going to go in
to my Chiefs.
Dude, the Giants went in at 9-7 and beat the undefeated Patriots.
Lost at home to my Chiefs.
Neat. Remember the Giants lost at home by 30 points to the Patriots and
in
then beat
overtime,
them in the Super Bowl?
At home.
That doesn't mean anything anymore. The Chargers will get hot. The Chargers will win the revenge game against the Chiefs in the divisional round because they're going to be a low enough seed. They'll probably have to play them then.
Well, I mean, that is your prerogative.
Listen, I'm not saying they are good. They're good. Trust me. We played them the other night. They're good.
I think that's going to be the scariest team because whoever plays them is going to overlook them, and that's going to be bad.
For all the Cowboys fans out there, I think Dallas could be kind of scary going into the playoffs.
No, because not Zeke, Dak is starting to cool off bad.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these teams, that's the problem I have, deciding who's going to be dangerous because they're so up and down. But the Titans, before they got hit by injuries and Derrick Henry went out, they were pretty consistent, and they beat some good teams playing good ball.
Like, I won't say Green Bay's the scariest, but they are the most consistent team going into these playoffs right now.
Okay, this is the question for the day. If you are watching right now, you are watching right now in the future, right now tomorrow. Probably not right now next year because then it won't make any sense.
Yeah.
But comment right now who you think the scariest team would be in the playoffs as long as they are not mathematically eliminated at this point, which is like Jacksonville, Detroit, the Jets.
Houston,
that's right. So
Detroit.
You asking our people that's watching this or us?
And Chicago has been officially eliminated. That's a new one.
Oh,
I think the Chiefs have had a couple good games in their recent streak. They've had a ton of luck. I still wouldn't bet on the Chiefs.
the Chiefs are finally starting to figure it out. The only problem is I still think that Mahomes isn't getting quite enough time to throw from the games I've watched. That offensive line needs to shirt up, but the defense is doing good despite having one of the worst defensive coordinators in the history of life. #Fire Spagnuolo. But who is the scariest team? Comment. And do you have
the
something
Chargers? But in the NFC, give me the Niners being the scariest team in the playoffs. The Niners are starting to play really good ball. They're on a good winning streak.
They have been doing quite well. Kittle's just been playing on the next level. Finally.
Bosa's been playing really well again. He's in talks for comeback player of the year. Everything in San Francisco is finally starting to gel. And that's when it's scary, is when things start to click right before these playoffs hit. Because if they can keep that rhythm, they could be scary.
I don't know. I think Minnesota could be kind of scary.
They can be, but they're so up and down.
They're like the definition of up and down.
Yeah.
What about the Colts?
No, the Colts scare me, but they look scary, and then all of a sudden they're just like,
yeah.
But that's on the same lines. As long as Jonathan Taylor's running amazing like Derrick Henry did, they're always in the conversation.
Yeah. Jesse Morgan says Titans and Packers. The Packers can be if the defense shows up.
Is Jesse Morgan wearing a Chiefs hat when his profile pops up?
He is.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I don't necessarily know that the Chiefs have had luck as much as looking at our season, we've had bad luck.
I mean, yeah,
by bad luck, you mean Tyreek decided not to catch anymore. Tyreek with the volleyball hands. Here, you take this other team.
You had a lot of luck missing Aaron Rodgers. That was the week they decided to tell him he had COVID and couldn't play. And get mad at him because they say he lied.
He never lied. He was honest.
I know he didn't.
All right. Well, do we have another segment? We did a Here's Why.
No, we did deep dive in the playoffs. We did another segment. It is, we're 40 minutes in. I reckon it's about time that we did some picking.
We're going to pick them!
So, yes, Patrick moved up on me a game, so now he's 5 games ahead.
Living that life. Living that life. If we had Chad's pick, though, he'd be like 36 up on us.
You know what you guys ought to do? I think you guys ought to you guys each get a pick half the games first, and the other guy has to pick the other team. But you have to give point spread. But
I think next year we might do maybe a couple, 2-3 games with the actual spread for the betting fans. But I don't know. That
would be a lot of fun.
I think this year is just strictly winners, but winners is easy. And I won't say it's easy, but it's a lot easier than picking by the spread.
Okay, then I think Patrick needs to pick first that way, because if you pick first,
we alternate picks.
Well, I'm just saying, but if you pick first, all Patrick would have to do is pick your pick. And
no, I could definitely do that.
I know that. I'm having
fun.
I
never would.
All right,
because I'm all about the dubs. Eating
tomorrow night.
Jameis Winston.
Tomorrow night, San Francisco at Tennessee.
Sorry, I was eating them W's. Who?
San Francisco at Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee's just still too beat up. So I'm going to go San Francisco. Even though it's on the road.
He's on the road, but I know they're still leading their division, but they don't look like a playoff squad right now in Tennessee. So I'm also taking San Francisco. I think the streak keeps going.
Same.
San Francisco all the way across. All right. And then Saturday, Christmas Day, Cleveland at Green Bay.
Oh, Cleveland all day, baby. Just kidding.
Cleveland
Bay.
all day.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I was going to say, I'm like, man, I would like to see a good game there, but I think Green Bay's
I think you will see a good game because Chubb will run for about 210 yards. But I think our offense can do enough against their banged-up defense that we can.
They're going to do what they always do.
This one out.
Green Bay is going to start off for the first quarter and a half, and you're going to wonder if maybe this is the time Green Bay doesn't look so good. Then they'll score it right before the half, and then they'll come out and score 30 points in the second quarter and win hands down.
The only way this game could honestly be close is if Myles Garrett happens to get a clear-cut sack on Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers has to lead.
Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky?
I'm not wishing that.
I think we all want Green Bay to win.
Oh, yeah, it's the Green Bay.
Green Bay. Yeah, there, Packers Nation. I picked Green Bay again for the second week in a row. Am I a real fan now?
Yeah, you're getting there.
Packers. All right, Indianapolis at Arizona for the later Christmas Day game.
Man, I need to stop doing work while you're telling me stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Indianapolis at Arizona?
Yes.
This one's a tough one because you can't figure Arizona's going to keep messing up.
No, they just had that one rough game. Everyone has a bad day.
Didn't they lose?
Yeah.
To that?
Yeah,
I feel like they're on a 2-game slide.
I do too.
I don't think so. They lost last week.
They lost to the Rams.
They lost to Detroit, and I think they lost the week before.
To Rams, wasn't it?
Was that the week
Yeah,
before?
to the Rams.
Oh, my goodness.
So they're on a 2-game slide. And
I don't know why I thought that Rams game was farther back.
But anyway, I'm going to pick the Colts just because Jonathan Taylor has just run out of his mind making a case for MVP. And I listened to the most recent Up the Gut upload of top 10 offenses preseason. And I said a lot of good things about Indianapolis, so I need them to win some more games.
Trying to get a quick thing of the injury report, see if anyone's missing, but it's not showing me that. I'm going to take Arizona. Yeah. I think they know they have to bounce back. They already sold those playoff tickets. They know they got to deliver, or else there's going to be a lot of angry fans.
That is correct. There will be.
And they are at home, so they're going to have some fans screaming at them.
I really want to go Colts, but I'm going to pick Arizona too. I think Arizona's going to win this one.
You know, I was just thinking about it, and the Colts just won a couple of pretty big games. There might be a little bit of hangover, but I'm still going with them.
See, that's more reason for me to want to go Colts. I think they're starting to take it to another level.
All right.
They're kicking off Sunday. Giants at Philadelphia.
Is Gardner Minshew playing?
Honestly, against
probably
the Giants,
not.
I don't even know if it matters.
But I think it's like 900 games straight. They've just done nothing but rush Miles Sanders. So give me Philadelphia.
Yeah. I don't trust the Giants that much either. Give me Philadelphia.
I'll go Philly.
Philly across the board.
No, I'd be a lot more comfortable picking them if Minshew was starting.
Oh, for sure.
See our previous video of Flippin Flip, the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay.
All right, the Rams at the Vikings.
Rams.
I, too, shall take the Rams. That defense is really starting to wake up, and
Cooper Kupp
is going to do Cooper Kupp things.
I agree. Seems like about time for Minnesota to drop one again.
Yeah. All right, Buffalo at New England. We know Patrick's taking Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Chad is, too. He already told me so.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he seems so sad about that.
No.
He's like, oh, man, I locked myself in on that one.
No. It's a scary game, though.
It's a very scary
game. I think it is. I think it's going to show
the most important game this week.
If the Bills don't win this, they have regressed since last year, big time.
I mean, we've already regressed since last year because
everybody in the league has had a weird year.
It's been a very weird year.
except for Green Bay.
Green Bay has been weird. They just kept winning, being weird.
They're
still had a
winning.
weird
That's
year.
all. It's what matters. What good teams do.
Give me.
We got blown out by Tennessee. Blown out.
We lost last second when Josh Allen slipped because someone put a banana peel down.
I'm also taking Buffalo. I think with the way the Patriots played last week, I think Buffalo can see some chinks in the armor. And maybe this week,
This
with
is
no 60-mile-an-hour winds, maybe actually exploit that.
game of the week, though.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. It should be, even though it's Sunday at noon.
Tampa Bay, Carolina.
I'm going Tampa Bay, even though they're looking like crap. They're still.
You guys don't trust Cam Newton?
No.
That defense is too fast.
Do you trust Cam Newton?
No, I just asked if you did.
Nobody should trust Cam Newton. Like I said, I think Carolina's putting him in so they can tank.
I trust Cam Newton's old teammate Aaron Hernandez more than I trust him.
Dang. Whew.
I don't think they ever played together.
In Florida?
Oh, you're going back to college.
College, dude. You know who all was on that team?
I have no idea.
The Pouncey brothers,
Ooh.
Aaron Hernandez, Cam Newton, Tim Tebow. What's his name? Riley, the old wide receiver from the Eagles.
Wait,
That had the racial slur.
I thought the Cam Newton played for Clemson for some reason.
He ended up going to Auburn,
Auburn, that's it.
but he was in Florida, Florida. Dude, there's a few other people on that team.
Was he backing up Tim Tebow?
Yes. Yeah. He got in trouble in Florida for like stealing a laptop or
That's
something.
That's not a surprise.
Anyway, move forward.
All right, so we're all picking Tampa. That's a fairly easy one. That might be our lock of the week. That's my lock of the week. All right, Jacksonville at the Jets.
My gosh.
Huh?
I'm picking the Jets.
Me too.
It's weird whenever the Jets show more promise than a team because they have not looked good in most games.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Jets.
See, we're all picking the same teams. How's anybody going to break away from the?
Well, we got Indy and Arizona different.
That's it.
Detroit at Atlanta.
Ooh.
That's a really good game for being a garbage bowl.
Give me Detroit.
Hold on. I missed what the game was.
Stop doing work stuff.
Detroit at Atlanta.
I would like to go to sleep tonight. I have to do some work stuff.
Dirty
You
Birds.
can stop for the next 10 minutes while we do the rest of the show.
Dirty Birds.
Listen, you guys cost me with all that basketball talk. I missed my chance to do my work there.
We didn't cost you anything. We're still on schedule.
You're on schedule. Listen, you don't tell me what we're on schedule for.
Pick a team.
Who are the teams?
I will light your face on fire when you come home. Detroit, Atlanta.
Screw it. I'm picking Detroit.
I am too. We all are.
We all are. Give me Atlanta.
Oh, you're switching it?
I'm switching it. I need to break away and get a couple. I mean,
Are you kidding me? If you were here consistently, you would have already broke away.
Yeah. All right. Chargers at Houston.
oh, San Diego is gonna come out and put a smackdown on the Texans.
I
I think Los
agree. I
Angeles
want to
is gonna
say
come out and
like,
put a smackdown on
Houston's going to show us something, but they're not. Even though last time I said that, Detroit beat Arizona, so don't listen to me.
So are you picking the Chargers?
Yeah.
Okay. Baltimore at Cincinnati. That could be another big one.
Cincy. Joe Burrows.
I also believe in Cincy because I think Baltimore will do kind of screw themselves out of a win again. They'll make another furious comeback, go for the W. Maybe not on 2-point conversion this time, but some last-minute play to take the W and something will go wrong.
I am checking something really quick, doing some crack research. I may branch off from you.
You're going to take the Ravens?
I have to do some research. No, I'm gonna take Cincinnati.
What were
Cincinnati
you
beat the Ravens 41-17 the first time they played.
That was a while ago, though.
Yeah, but they were also a better Ravens team at that point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chicago at Seattle.
Ooh.
Chicago at Seattle.
I don't even know what to do there. I mean, that should be an easy Seattle pick, but it's not.
I'm picking.
They really played that bad.
Listen, coming from Quincy, Illinois, growing up and watching the '85 Bears, and I was a Bears fan then. I'm going the Bears.
The Bears. I'm going to Sea Chickens.
Dang it.
The Chicken Buzzards?
I'm going to Chicken Buzzards, but it's going to be a close one.
I am also going with the Seattle Seahawks, but just because I heard a report that DK was very angry after this last game. And so usually when that happens, they over-integrate them into the offense the next game.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the one way for Seattle to win?
Throw to DK.
Throw the ball to DK!
Pittsburgh at Kansas City.
Kansas City.
The Chiefs.
Yeah. Pittsburgh. All right.
You make your pick already, Matt?
Yeah, Kansas City. Come on. All right, Denver at Las Vegas. You gonna go with Dylan again?
Shit. I didn't know they were having bowl games already this week.
Are we picking Drew Lock and the Bronchies?
We're not.
Dylan,
there's not bowl games already, is there?
Yeah.
The toilet bowl this weekend. The Denver Donkeys and
I think Jacksonville and the Jets is the bigger toilet bowl.
The Las Vegas Faders.
I mean,
the toilet bowl.
I mean, Jacksonville and the Jets is a bigger toilet bowl than those two.
Toilet bowl.
I just realized I'm in a hotel and I've just been yelling shit.
At least,
Nice.
at least Denver and Vegas both still have playoffs.
So
the poor
I
people.
seen a meme the other day that I really liked, and it said the NFL has now agreed to host every single Super Bowl in Las Vegas from here on out. That way, no team ever has home field advantage.
I like it.
It's true.
Dylan, who should I pick here?
You know who Dylan's going to say. That's not even a question.
Dylan, who should I pick to win this game?
It's not who she picked. Denver. I mean, Dylan, sell me on the Broncos.
He
Why are
picked
they
Denver?
Denver?
No. I want to know who he thinks I should pick. One question at a time.
He put right there, Denver.
No, that's who he picks. He's doing his picks.
Well, then that's what he's going to tell you to pick.
I'm waiting for him to tell me.
He told you.
Chill.
Denver.
No, he picked Denver. He didn't tell me for me to pick Denver.
If he picked Denver, why would he tell you to pick Las Vegas?
He said Denver's playing lock, so that's why you got to pick Denver.
But really, you're going to sell me on Drew Lock.
Listen, I'm more sold on Drew Lock. I will take Denver now over
You're going to take Denver?
the Las Vegas Faders.
Patrick, who you picking?
All right, I think Dylan's telling me to pick Denver, so I'm going to take Las Vegas. Because you already ruined me once, Dylan.
I also picked Vegas because I don't believe in Drew Lock.
Now, he's not saying, he was telling us not to pick them. Because
The Denver Donkeys with Lock is going to
I
win
knew
this.
where he was going. He's a good dude.
All right.
He would never
Listen.
leave me astray.
I believe the Raiders have got some big key guys that are hurt and COVID. And
I don't think the Raiders
As long as Derek Carr's in the game, I'm going to pick them over Denver right now.
I don't think the Raiders have any key guys.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody else is interchangeable at that point.
Yep.
I think Derek Carr could do enough to help them win that game.
Washington at Dallas for Sunday night.
oh, wait a minute. Is this the third time they played this year?
Seems
No.
like it.
Washington just played Dallas the other day, and they played early in the season.
I don't think they did. They played a couple weeks ago. Now they're playing this week. But those are you still only get your 6.
So a couple weeks ago, when I mentioned, I thought they played at the beginning of the year. Maybe that they played against the Giants is what
Yeah.
it was. Okay.
But I
lost that game last couple weeks ago because I picked the Washington football team.
would take Dallas's defense because I don't think Heineke's back.
I will take Dallas.
And
Also.
Nikki?
And if Nicky's back with Diggs and Micah Parsons, that's just too nasty.
Yeah,
Too
I'm
nasty
taking
to overcome.
Dallas. Mm-hmm.
Are you also taking Dallas?
I am.
Dallas. All right, and then Monday night, Miami at New Orleans.
You know who I'm picking?
New Orleans.
You're picking Miami, right?
Mammy.
Give me the Saints. Who dat?
Give me the Saints also.
Who dat?
With that defense and Alvin Kamara, they have enough to beat the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm. Unless Reed Ferguson can get out there and start passing.
Well, they do have the other Ferguson. I'm just
Reed
saying.
plays for Buffalo.
That's right, not Reed, but Randall. Randall Ferguson.
It's Blake, and Blake won't come on our show no matter how much I talk to him. So
I wonder if Reed was offended by some of the questions we asked him.
Well,
he was just offended by my face. He sent me a message later. It was weird. Said like everything was great, but your face. I'm like, I'm sorry. It happens.
Well, guess what, guys? We did it.
You know what's jacked up though? I guarantee him and his brother now throw wash bags, cornhole from the long snapper position, and I gave him the idea. You know he does.
He better be. If he's not, what's life?
We did it though. We picked week 16.
We're gonna pick them.
Wow, we only got 3 weeks left of the regular season. And this playoff time.
Only what, like 7 weeks less of stress for me until I get that Super Bowl win and I could celebrate and buy all the Super Bowl gear.
I mean, for your sake, I hope so, but probably not.
I really just want to see a Packers-Bills Super Bowl so I could say I officially called it on record.
I want to see it this year because we should have had it last year.
We should have had it last year.
But we got robbed by the refs not wanting to call defensive holding until
we got robbed by just sucking.
Yeah. No, those refs let the Tampa Bay defense do whatever they wanted to our receivers, and then as soon as we pull a jersey, they were all over it.
100%. I watched it. I saw it happen.
I watched it too. I almost burnt Dylan's house down. He was there too. He saw it.
Don't you burn down my house.
I won't. I didn't burn down Dylan's house. I just almost did.
Oh, so did you see my nice new bottle of bourbon, Chad?
No.
Made me so happy.
Yeah,
I got a good one, Ailers.
Jen told me, she's like, oh, Patrick went shopping. I'm like, oh, what do you buy? Liquor. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right.
Well, the thing is I wasn't going in there for me. I just happened to buy for me. So
yeah, that's how it goes. Well,
right.
We already hit an hour, so I think it's time to hit the most negative segment of this show.
Flippin', dadgummit!
I don't know who's got you in a tizzy, Ogre.
I can't go political with this.
I mean, don't go crazy political. What's got to do with football? Go for it. I don't know politics. That's why I never go political.
You have gone political on this show.
Have I?
You may not know you did it, but you did.
Okay, well, I guess I'm political then.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I'll save Fauci for another time in case all the good football players aren't playing.
He just kind of fits in with the reps. You could just use him. He's like a de facto. Everybody
He's absolutely the biggest moron that's ever surfaced on TV. Anyway, I'm going to go Jackson Mahomes as Flippin Flip that guy.
Okay.
Everybody in the world can get behind that one.
That's also kind of a de facto one.
You've got a guy that has been so good to the Kansas City area in Patrick Mahomes, and everything he's done, except for take $500 million, but everything he's done has been good. He's good. Everything he's done. He hasn't done anything wrong except allows his little brother to walk around with his last name. And it's an embarrassment.
I would hate to have brothers that just rolled around on my last name, doing whatever they wanted.
You know, you feel like, hey, he gets to have a good life now because I've created this good life. But when you're getting like roasted for the crap you post on social media and walking out on the Washington football team's logo or the Sean Taylor
Memorial to do a TikTok dance.
I mean, what the hell, man? Nothing against Patrick Mahomes.
No, not at all.
But man, little dude's got to like grow up. That's my Flippin Flip that guy.
Yeah, I hope you're listening.
Flippin'. Dadgummit!
Do you have one, Matt?
Not off tops. How about you?
I do, and it's going to go big.
Who you got?
Well, hold on one second. Let me gear this up. We have breaking news.
Breaking news.
What
You
happened?
know what? The NFL AFC Pro Bowl roster has been announced.
Okay.
Flippin' Flip, you NFL, whoever decides the Pro Bowl.
That's a fan.
Josh
vote.
Allen, not in the Pro Bowl? Come
Really?
on. Lamar Jackson made it.
Who
Justin
made
Herbert made it. I get Patrick Mahomes, but Josh Allen has done way better in both of those.
Yeah.
Herbert's debatable. Jackson is not.
No, not at all.
I agree with
Not
that.
at all. And then how about this? No Jordan Poyer or Micah Hyde.
Did any Bills make it?
Best safety duo in the league. And you're telling me they couldn't make it? So I'm going to run it down for you real quick. You got Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, quarterbacks. Running backs and Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, and Joe Mixon. Solid.
Yep.
Wide receiver and Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs.
Okay, so we got one Bill.
Tight end, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce. Offensive tackle, Rashawn Slater, Orlando Brown, Deion Dawkins. There's two Bills. Guards, Quentin Nelson, Joel Batano, Wyatt Teller. Center, Corey Lindsley, Ryan Kelly. Fullback, probably the only fullback left in the league, Patrick Ricard. Defensive end, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson. Interior lineman, DeForest Buckner, Chris Jones, Cam Hayward. Outside linebacker, TJ Watt, Joey Bosa, Matt Judon. Cornerback, JC Jackson, Xavier Howard, Denzel Ward, Kenny Moore. Free safety, Kevin Byard. And strong safety, Derwin James, Tyrann Mathieu. Long snapper, should have been Reed Ferguson. I don't know who this Luke Rhodes character is, but he shouldn't be in there. Punter, AJ Cole. He's on the Raiders. They punt a lot. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Place kicker. It just says, no way we're allowing Justin Tucker in here. I don't know what that means.
That's ridiculous. He's still the best one.
It's Justin Tucker. Return specialist, Devin DuVernay, and special teamer, Matthew Slater for the 92nd year in a row. But no Josh Allen, no Micah Hyde, no Jordan Poyer. That is ridiculous. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde have the best numbers of any safeties in the NFL. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, but it is fan voting for the Pro Bowl, right?
I don't know how it goes because Lord knows I did a lot of voting for Jordan Poyer. And what I did alone should have got it for him. So I think there's a mixture, and fan voting causes like they cut it and it's like 9/10.
I did not know that you vote like a Democrat, Patrick. I am thoroughly pissed off.
I did. I've straight up voted like everybody voted for Biden. I did it early. I did it often. And there's our political. So NFL, Pro Bowl selection, whoever decides this jazz, come on. We have a solution for this. But first, one last time, Flippin' Flip, you NFL.
Flippin', dadgummit!
From now on, Pro Bowl needs to be decided by every NFL coach.
Hey, here it is.
Coach, if you're an NFL coach, position, specialty, all that.
They do.
Any NFL coach.
It's split into thirds because it's fan votes, player votes, and coach votes.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Each one counts for a third.
Every coach, and then split it up between the media. certain media outlets will get a vote, and then I say split up between some smaller ones so Up the Gut gets official vote. I'll take it seriously. I'll do it proper.
I mean, we could do a fan vote. Those are official votes.
No,
I voted.
Those I did too, but I'm sure they don't count equally with the other ones.
It says each group counting for a third of the final roster decision.
Yeah, but it takes 100 fan votes to equal one coach vote.
Whoever allows the NFL allows us to vote more than once.
Yeah, you're saying that you really think our vote, when we can vote as many times as we want, is
our
equal
vote
to
in the
a
political
vote
elections
or a coach vote?
obviously don't count either,
Can you see Andy Reid sitting there voting 900 times for Travis Kelce? No, I did it for Jordan Poyer though. Anyway, all right, Matt, you got anybody?
I'm gonna tag along yours because I saw the AFC roster, but honestly, only one omission made me a little bit upset, and it has nothing to do with Green Bay. Why is Micah Parsons not in the Pro Bowl?
Did you say Micah Parsons?
Yeah,
because he's NFC.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The NFC roster.
They don't have the NFC roster out yet, do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet because I was looking.
I just let me pull it back up because I just looked at it.
Micah Parsons not in there is ridiculous.
Yeah. So here we go. Quarterback, Rodgers, Brady, and Kyler Murray. Running backs, Dalvin Cook, James Conner, Alvin Kamara. Receivers, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, and Debo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tight ends, Kittle and Pitts.
Yep.
Offensive lineman, Blue. Fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, because he's the only fullback still playing in the NFL.
I just made that joke.
All right, defensive end, Nick Bosa, Cameron Jordan, and Brian Burns from Carolina, whoever that is.
Somebody.
Interior lineman, Aaron Donald, Jonathan Allen, Kenny Clark. Outside linebackers, Chandler Jones, Robert Quinn, and Shaquille Barrett. Cornerbacks, Trayvon Diggs, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, and Marshawn Lattimore. One free safety, Quandre Diggs, the other Diggs. So all of the Diggses are in the playoffs, or Pro Bowl, hashtag Diggs Pro Bowl. Safeties, Buda Baker, and Harrison Smith.
And then Anger for punter, long snapper Harris, Gay for kicker.
Yep.
And then Gray for special teams.
Yep. So I don't know exactly where Micah Parsons plays, whether he's an outside linebacker or a true defensive end.
I think he's an inside linebacker. I think middle linebacker.
But the fact
the fact that he's not on there is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably playing the best football on that team of any team.
He might be the best defensive player in football.
He could get defensive rookie of the year. I don't think they'll give him player just because of the fact he is a rookie. And that's sad.
Yeah. Well, there you go. A double down of the NFL Pro Bowl selection process committee people. You guys are dumb.
Flippin'. Dadgummit.
And could you believe that I was mad that a Cowboys player didn't make it into the Pro Bowl? Talk about being
because we're professionals.
Talk about being non-biased.
Professionals.
Now, because Green Bay got 3 people in the Pro Bowl, and I think they nailed it. Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Kenny Clark. That sounds about right.
I think that, obviously I believe Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer should have been in there. Their stats justify it. Their play justifies it. But Josh Allen not making it when Lamar Jackson does is probably the biggest issue I have with all of this. Because Kevin Byard played good, but he just didn't play Jordan Poyer good.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, okay. Well,
that's okay, because if the Bills go to the Super Bowl, it won't matter anyway, because then they don't go to the Pro Bowl.
That's
just
true.
Imagine how pissed off he'd be if Mac Jones got it.
Oh God.
I would quit watching football if McStupid.
You can't go to the Pro Bowl if you have a game where you only threw 3 passes.
No, you can, because we're trying to get Ryan Fitzpatrick into.
Yeah, but that's a completely different set of deal. That's completely different.
10 pass attempts on the season.
He's a different situation.
100% different situation.
Hashtag Fitz Pro Bowl, even though the rosters are already out.
You guys ruined me, and I want you guys to know that we had some.
Quick. Did Minka Fitzpatrick get in? Did any Fitzes get in?
Any Fitzes?
We did all this work for no Fitzes?
Out.
No!
Out.
It's ridiculous.
This is the worst Pro Bowl I've ever seen.
I mean, the NFC one is actually fairly solid for me, except for the Micah Parsons deletion, but
No Micah Parsons, no Josh Allen,
yeah, the AFC squad is a little wrong.
and not a single Fitz made it.
Not a single one.
What if it? What if? Nah.
But we did get 3 Diggses.
That's too many digs.
Uh-oh, Ogre's getting tired.
Oh, you guys don't even want to know how much work I got to do, and I'm just looking at this bed like.
Well, then
Probably
we've gone almost 75 minutes, so I reckon this would be a good place to call it.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Somewhere we lost to, and it made me sad.
Wait,
I
hold
missed
on.
them already.
Outside the narrative sounds dumb.
No, I said that the Pro Bowl selection committee was dumb, and he said, "Yeah, that sounds dumb."
Okay.
He's not
Is
saying
Wes
we sound
on
dumb.
here? Is Wes on here?
Yeah, I miss Outside the Narrative. That's what I miss. That used to be a good show.
They
Well,
had
we
a
can talk
fire
politics.
intro.
It did have a fire intro and outro.
Yo, what's up, Wes?
That's okay. We got a fire outro.
Is that how you want me to make it go?
No,
Like,
no.
that's a good setup, but you can't leave. Like, we have a
No,
timeline.
I'm still going to do my thing.
Okay.
I'm just stating the fact. We have a fire outro.
We do. I like it.
All right. Well, Ogre, anyone else you want to shout out to real quick before we cut it off?
I want to shout out to Santa Claus. I really hope that you come in 3 days because I really haven't bought any gifts for anybody in my family this year. So I'm really hoping the big guy comes through.
I hope the big guy comes through too and lets us beat the Browns on Christmas Day. Because if he doesn't, I would hate to have to hunt him down, watch and make him watch as I murder his reindeer and eat them all in front of him.
All I want for
That would be
Christmas
horrible if
is
he
the
decided
Chiefs
who
to
won
not
football.
play like they did at the beginning of the year. I'm okay if we lose and not even make it to the Super Bowl, as long as we play good football.
Patrick, you want to send us off before I do my thing?
Just subscribe. Everybody subscribe. Tell people to subscribe. Comment. Watch
Jake's
this
Pro Bowl.
again. I don't even care.
All right. You heard him. You heard me. That's the dawn of the Bills Mafia. That means he's in charge.
I want to give a shout out to those Taste Bud guys too,
Oh.
if they're still
Yeah.
on.
I
Merry
want-
Christmas, fellas.
And I want to give a shout out to anybody who will actually tell their friends about this channel. Help us spread it. Help us make this more than just a hobby.
Spread this like it's contagious.
Yeah,
Kind of like
Spread like COVID.
the COVID.
I
You
said
know
it.
what I realized? It was in essence our Christmas special.
It was,
but-
but you weren't here, so we
But due
couldn't go
to
on.
situations, we didn't get to do our naughty list or our
Yeah.
nice list or
'Cause
naughty or
you
nice
were
list.
away, and this was not as well-oiled a machine as I'd hoped it'd been. But it's whatever.
Yeah. So since I guess that we weren't able to do it, Merry
You-
Christmas.
We
Listen,
can-
I think we do the holiday special next week because it's between Christmas and New Year, end of the year.
We can do our
We need to have a big show next week.
we can do our naughty and nice list before Wild Card Weekend. When the regular season's over, we'll see who was naughty, who was nice.
Yeah, because as of right now, I don't know that I'll have much time to do anything between now and then for the show to make a good
Yeah.
Christmas special.
That's fine.
So
Well, you guys
anyway,
know-
Merry Christmas, everybody from Up the Gut.
Tell everyone about this show, or at least, at the very, very least,
Tell
your moms about us.
mama.
Remember when I used to sit down there next to you?
Yep.
Yeah,
Right here.
just sat right there. You remember that?
That's okay though. You'll be back next week.
Maybe.
You'll be back.